All right, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors be into the elders, the apostles of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutations into the hopeful elect, noise in the gospel abroad, lifting up the stern of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. That's the Aki and Mahalaya coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Titled, Put Your Faith and Fear in the Lord, your trust in the Lord, because we're entering the evil days that the Most High is getting ready to do a magnificent work, and He's getting ready to raise up the hopeful elect to do His bidding. Okay, according to the book of Jeremiah, the 51st chapter, when it tells you, "Thou my battle axe and weapons of war, and with thee I will beat small the nations," etc. All right, so we're living in this time that the Lord is getting ready to do some miraculous and some miraculous things through His men to glorify his name for his elect's sake. And if you want to partake in that blessing, it's really essential to fear the Lord. But I'm going to focus more on Psalms the 56th chapter, and it goes into the confidence of King David. All right, and this is an example of confidence that we must walk with in these latter days, in these evil times, because the forces of darkness are camped around us. Okay, like the scriptures say, the angels that are camped around him that fear them, around them that fear him. All right, so just as we have good angels, we have demonic angels that's looking to move in on us, but the good forces out mitigate the bad forces, so to speak, especially if you are in perfect unison with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, so anyway, it says here, I'm going to start at verse 1. It says here, "Be merciful unto me, O power, for man would swallow me up. He fighting daily oppresseth me." Okay, and if you compare that to the day we're living in, and to the different provisions that Esau Edom has set abroad for the Israelites, from different and grievous laws that's being perpetuated and passed through office to pretty much null and void our nation, starting with the hopeful elect first. Those particular things are the way Esau is shooting and fighting against the men of the Lord. All right, through different various mediums such as TV, different music, and just through people. All right, principalities, like the scriptures say, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. All right, so we're up against spiritual forces that you can't even begin to fathom. But hey, brothers, through the faith, we will conquer all things, because hey, Yahweh Shah said, "As I've overcome, and if you overcome, you will be able to sit with my Father and me," roughly paraphrasing it. Okay, dominion is given to him that overcome. So now the test begins, and if you want to be on the receiving end of those blessings, then you must exemplify the utmost faith. Okay, and hopefully the Lord puts that spirit on you in due time. All right, because it's easy to get complacent, and it's easy to feel discouraged, especially when you handle a situation outside of what your flesh is telling you to handle. But like the scripture says, a time and place for everything. Just because you may have gotten into a situation or some type of verbal altercation that could have went physical with Edomite or Jake, and you chose not to take it there due to you feeling timid or whatever it may be, it's just a time and place for everything. Okay, not necessarily being timid, but knowing the consequences for moving out of time. Okay, because everything is done in its proper season, and the Lord lets you know when it's time to make your move. Okay, and it says here, "My enemies would daily swallow me up." And who are our enemies? Esau Edom, first and foremost. And the chart of enemies, or the table of nations that's against us currently, you can read that in the book of Psalms, the 83rd chapter. Okay, from Ashur, which is the Assyrians, to Amalek, which is these Khazars over there in the land of Israel. Esau Edom, which they're Edomites as well. The so-called white man, Hagarenes, all right? You got the Hamites, all these different nations, they're currently against us. Okay, because they're ultimately trying to stop our blessing from manifesting itself. And it says here, "My enemies will daily swallow me up, for they be many that fight against me, O thou most high." Right? Because like I said, you got different forces and spiritual forces that's at work to try to stop this work of the Most High. Like the scriptures say that the angels rejoice in every sinner that comes to repentance. So every time an elect member is waking up, Satan is just that much more on a prowl to stop this word, though he can't stop it. All right, He may be strong enough to stop the individual if they're not of the elect, but he can't stop the word, because regardless of what Satan does, the Lord of the word is going to go out first. That's why when it comes to the times we're getting ready to enter into, like this whole selection process, it's a joke. All right, and we know that Esau Edom is getting ready to put the hammer down any day now, especially these particular elections coming up, and Trump don't know his certainty about getting in office. Like I read a video title, I didn't click on it, but it stated that Trump is not willing to have a peaceful transition out of office. So something big may happen election night or prior to or shortly after, because even then, if he gets selected again, or if a new president gets selected, their inauguration, which means inaugurate, which means to stand with the demons or stand with enchantments, they're not going to take Oval Office until the 21st of the new year, which is in July. All right, but it's a pretty much a long stretch from here to then. But nonetheless, the election is damn near a month away almost, because we're entering the month of October. All right, October 1st being tomorrow. So from that point, election night is what, November 3rd? So you have roughly a month and 4 days, 34 days and counting before this election takes place. All right, so anything can happen. And I'm hearing certain things about they're trying to roll out the what do you call it, the vaccinations as early as April, in November. They're gonna do something big, but something big is gonna happen that's gonna shake the foundation of this society. All right, and a lot of men out there that's stagnant in faith, they're kind of unrooted. A lot of those men will be shook into their core. Okay, and this is why it's good to be grounded in these things, and it's good to deal with situations head on, because your trials and your tribulations, they build you up to ultimately be able to withstand the day of evil. Like brothers go through things on a daily basis, and believe it or not, those things are getting you ready to prepare for the evil day. Whether it's financial system, whether it's a job, whether it's hardships in the body and people coming against you, all those things, you got to look at it as a thing of good, even though it doesn't feel good going through the affliction at that current moment. But just understanding through the spirit that those lessons that you once learned, that will be essential to the days that we're coming into. Because it's like if you were a trained boxer or you were a trained martial artist. Bruce Lee said it himself. He said a man is more daily, or you need to worry about the man that practiced one kick 1,000 times outside of the man that practiced 10,000 kicks one time. Now, if you ponder on that, that has volumes. So if you trying in the ring to throw that crossover hook because you know this is your opponent weakness, and you've been put through certain fights to test that crossover hook until you get to this man and knock him out with that hook, hey, it was very well worth it. Even if you got your ass whooped a few fights ago, that hook came in at the right time because you've been practicing, you've been rehearsing, you've been going through the afflictions of perfecting that crossover hook. Okay, so you perfect that punch 1,000 times is better than throwing cross combos one time and not understanding the concept of it. If you brothers see what I'm getting at. All right, it says here, my enemies daily swallow me up, for they be many that fight against me, O thou most high. What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee. That's right. So in your flesh, you do get shook. You do have questions. What if? What if? But the big what ifs is leaving your mind open for doubt, because that what if is what allows Satan to creep in to distort your thoughts. So if you have a what if, you have to look at it as, okay, but what the Most High is going to do for good on that. You can't say, well, what if they kick in my door? They may kick in your door. Well, what if they take me to the FEMA camp? They may take you to the FEMA camp. And so, don't what if the scenario. If it's that, then you deal with it as it comes. You allow the spirit to navigate your thoughts and your moves in that day, because you don't want to underreact, nor do you want to overreact. Because if you overreact at the wrong time, that can prove to be fatal for you and those around you. So sometimes you have to listen to what the spirit says, and the spirit will give you insight onto what to do. Okay, the spirit of light never guides you in the wrong way. Never. It will never fail you. All right. And it says here, in power, I will praise his word. In Yahweh, I will put try trust. It says, and I will not fear what flesh can do unto me. All right. That's that confidence right there. Let's read it again. It says, in the Most High, I will praise his word. And it says, in the power, I have put my trust, and I will not fear what flesh can do unto me. All right. So At the end of the day, if Esau decides to put you in a FEMA camp and put you on a firing squad and gun you down, then guess what? You're not supposed to fear those things. But why would Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah allow you to go through a horrific end if you've been faithful unto his name? Seems kind of biased, doesn't it? Seems kind of unrighteous, don't it? No, the Lord doesn't operate like that. Okay, if the Lord puts you through some afflictions, you better believe that he's going to extend his mercy throughout these afflictions. He never fails with that. And the moment you believe that, you already got the victory, or at least you're halfway into receiving the victory. All right, like I told brothers last week, I said, look, if they end up snatching you up, snatching us up, and doing whatever, I said, at the end of the day, if you faithful to the Lord, you ain't got to worry about dying or death of the unfaithful, because Jake, they gonna get tortured in these FEMA camps. All right, Jake's gonna be getting gunned down. They're gonna be raped, waterboarded. They're gonna be getting shot with vaccinations, shot rubber bullets. They're gonna be tortured to death. You know, getting their toes cut off. You know, all types of stuff, man. The Lord ain't gonna allow us to suffer through that agonizing pain, even if it appear to men that we finna hit the guillotine and get our heads chopped off. At the end of the day, the Lord can take that spirit off you of fear and of pain. All right. Prime example, brothers should start back reading the examples of when our ancient forefathers were delivered into the hands of the enemy and their approach to these days, their approach into and their mindset as to tackling these things head on. And the first thing they did was put their confidence and faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Through what? Calling on that name and believing, you know. And, you know, in that day, time will tell, you know, who's really of this thing and not. All right. But it says here, but every day they wrest my words. All their thoughts are evil against me for evil. Right. You think Esau ain't conjuring up on how he's going to try to snatch us up? You think he's not watching the camps, studying every individual, trying to find their breaking point? You know, this devil is crafty, man. I mean, he'll put people in your life just to get information out you and then go back and report. Spies, ultimately, you know. But you can't worry about that because, like I said, the scriptures say, if the Lord is with us, who can be against us? You know, and it says, and they gather themselves together, they hide themselves, right, behind these internet trolls, these different call centers, these underground bunkers. They be hiding in plain sight. Sometimes they be riding the car in front of the house, just listening to you, bug your house, you know, watching your every move, watching what you watch on TV, watch you pop your woman. They watch you. You know, you go to the camp, they drive by in these FBI vehicles, they take pictures. All right. It says they hide themselves. They mark my steps. That's right. They follow you. They wait for my soul. So they're waiting on a perfect time to roll on the men of the Lord. But ultimately, the Most High is going to upset that purpose because the standard is coming. Okay. And if you want the Lord to do that work through you, hey, do the work and be faithful. Believe. All right. Because it ain't going to be everybody's lot to be a martyr. All right. And it ain't going to be everybody's lot to be spiritual power, at least on this side, until we get them new bodies. Because when we all get the new bodies, we all going to have the power. All 144,000 is going to come down with those spiritual bodies, man. Wrecking shit out here. All right. So getting the death of the 2/3, man, that should be far from your mind. Like me personally, I don't believe I'm going to have to go to a FEMA camp. I don't think like that. In cases I have had dreams, but then something miraculous happened. But every time you notice when I say being martyred, I never include myself in that because I don't believe that's going to be my fate. Now, if that is my fate, then that is something I have to deal with it as time comes. But I don't see that being my fate. Why? Because I'm focusing on life. I'm focusing on the victory. I'm focusing on being the Lord's weapon, man. That's what I'm focused on. I'm trying to be the fucking warrior the Lord lift up to swing, to throw shit out here, man. And I think it's well earned. And that's the mindset we got to incorporate in, man. We've been taking L's our whole life, man. We ain't taking L's on this side. You know, and these people that come in and out of your life, they can detect that. Esau knows. Esau knows there's no breaking the men of the Lord. He knows that. So he's going to come with something major. But hey, like I said, man, the Lord controls him too. And it says, shall they escape by iniquity? And in thy anger cast the people. It says, cast down the people, O power. Thou tellest my wanderings. Put my tears into thy bottle. Are they not in thy book? But when I cry unto thee, then shall my enemies turn back. This I know, for the Most High is with me. You notice this man is speaking in confidence. He said it. He didn't speculate. He said it. He says, when I cry unto thee, then shall my enemies turn back. He know when he called on the name of the Lord, the Lord gonna deal with him. Like, look, man, I got you. It ain't, well, Lord, if I cry on you, would you come and help me? And at times the prophet asks questions, are not now, but when the prophets asked questions, they was pretty much bringing it back to the Most High's remembrance. When you said you was gonna do this, why haven't you done it? Okay, but in this case, David is saying, look, when I cry on your name, he knew he was upright and doing the work. He knew he was there. Even though he was a man, he went off, he sinned. David committed adultery. But David knew through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai that, hey, the Most High was dealing with him on a high level. And that's the spirit we got to have. Not out of pompous, though. It says here, thou tellest my wonderings, put thou my tears into thy bottle, are they not in thy book? And that's prophetic, man. Because, hey, we're reading the book right now, and we're seeing all the Psalms and the tribulations and the turmoils that King David went through. This represents his tears, these Psalms. And they are in the book. That's prophetic right there. And it says here, when I cry unto thee, then shall my enemies turn back. This I know, for the Most High is for me. So, man, when these people come, you got to be like, man, the hell with these people. Your job try to fire you, you should say, okay, the hell with you. I'll walk out this place gladly. You want me to leave you? Hey, fuck you, bitch. Excuse my French, but hey, I got the Most High on my side. No matter what you people think or say or how you perceive that. All right? And even if judgment don't come on these people overnight, so be it. You doing the work, they're not. So how much more that latter end? And it says, in the Most High I will praise his word. It says, in the power I will praise his word. And in the Most High will I praise his word. And it says, in power I have put my trust, and I will not be afraid what man can do unto me. All right, so at the end of the day, man, when you facing destruction or some type of adversity, man, you got to know that the Most High Yahweh Shai is going to put a spirit on you to deal with it. Like, and I mean, it's easier said than done, because some brothers have been in predicaments that they got guns pulled on them, that things were happening and so forth like that. But I mean, it's going to come a time that you may be fucking in a firing range, man. Esau may have you surrounded by his military. Put your hands on your head, and they got the infrared beams on you, getting ready to air you out. But in your mindset, man, you know what I'm saying? You got to have the confidence of Yahweh Shai. All right? You got to know that the Lord is there with you. You got to believe that. All right? And you can't allow your flesh to consume your spirit. Because if so, then, eventually you can waver. You can falter. And before you know it, you'll be thinking in the flesh on what you can do. And before you know it, they done would have put 100 rounds in you, man. So you got to really conquer that fear. And like I said, it's easier said than done. But overall, man, the Most High is going to put that spirit on us if we're found faithful. Okay? And it says, and thy vows are upon me, O power. I will render praises unto thee. For thou hast delivered my soul from death. All right? And will not thou deliver my feet from the falling? And it's just one of those things that happens subconsciously. It's like when you're in a jam or a predicament, you kind of just bolden up when you deal with it. Like, I've had several situations that turned out to be pretty dangerous. And you know what? But at the same time, I accepted it and I prevailed through it. And you got to keep that mindset. You can't forget those times that the Most High delivered you out of situations that could have been fatal. I was in quite a few since I've been in the truth, but hey, the Most High got me out of each and every last one of them, which one could have actually took me out. You know what I'm saying? I was at that verge, but at that point, I didn't care if I died. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really care when that injury I caught years ago, I didn't care if I died. I just said, fuck it. And I was finna give up the spirit. I'm like, take me. If it gotta end this way, then so be it. I wasn't panicking. I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna go to hell. Nah, I was like, all right, this is how I gotta go. But the angels, they was around me, and I felt my spirit still there. I was unconscious, but I felt my spirit still living. I was like, okay, I'm just blacked out. And when you put under, most of the time you don't even know. You just blank. But every time I got put under, even from getting my wisdom teeth pulled, when they put you under, they said that's the closest to death you are. But I was still conscious. I still had dreams. I still was able to see and hear things. That's how I knew the spirit was with me. I was like, yeah. Because when most people get put under, they don't remember if they dream. They don't remember nothing. They just snap and wake up. When I got put under for getting my tooth pulled, and when I got my surgery years ago, I knew I was still there. And they woke me up. I was like, man, it was just like a deep sleep. But I knew I was there. I dreamed. I was conscious and all these things. So You know, you gotta have that type of confidence. And like I said, these examples are supposed to follow you through every situation. And sometimes we forget that the Most High had our back that time, especially when we was probably doing folly, and you're even stronger in the truth now. How much more He got you? All right. It says, "For Thou hast delivered my soul from death, and will not Thou deliver my feet from falling, that I may walk before the Most High in the light of the living?" Right. So ain't nothing to worry about, man. I remember it was a couple years ago, man. It was misty outside. It was beginning to snow, and I was coming from like this little get together, this little party, so to speak, with a couple of cats I used to work with back in the day. And I remember I was a little intoxicated, and I probably shouldn't have been driving. I thought I had the wheel, and I think I did good for the most part. I wasn't swerving, but the kind of vehicle I had, it didn't take too well to the pavement because foreign cars, they tend to hug the ground a little more, but when it's snowing outside and stuff like that and it's mist, and sometimes you can you can run out of control. So I remember I came around this corner. I wasn't even going fast. I was taking my time because I knew I was under the influence. And man, I like this car. So what happened was, as I came around the corner, my car kind of hydroplaned and slid. So it was like a cliff or like a hill with a river at the bottom. And then as I tried to turn left, the car went right and went over the freaking curve and went downhill. Thought I was finna go head first into the river. All right, so the ground is wet, it's on a hill, it's murky, it's hilly, and I realized that my car is stuck. So I'm like, okay, I need to bag up out of this. I got to bag up out of this place. So find out a snowstorm came. So I was like, all right, fuck, I can't go nowhere now. I'm stuck right now. So I fell asleep in the car. But as I kid you not, the river was swelling hour by hour. So wasn't nobody really available to send a tow truck out that day, because for the simple fact it was snowing and then everybody was watching this game or something. I think it was like a Chiefs game or something was going on. Everybody was into the football game. Wasn't nobody taking calls. The roads wasn't really done properly or nothing. So I was just kind of stuck down there in this hill. You know what I'm saying? But I took it upon myself to go to sleep. I'm like, I'm just finna chill, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, the Lord gonna get me out of this one way or another. And I kid you not, man, that river was swelling every hour because it wasn't really near the car at first. But by the time 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, that river was getting close and close because it was swelling. But my car was at the bottom of the hill. And then I got out the car finally. I realized that my axles were busted. I busted my hubcap, busted everything because I hit the bump kind of hard and going downhill. The struts were busted, everything. I had to get a tow. So I kid you not, I was probably out there 12 hours from the prior night up until the next day. And I kid you not, man, right at the last minute, a tow came through. Right when that fucking river was getting ready to take the car. Hey, man, if it would have been another hour, my car would have been floating down the river somewhere. I wouldn't have been in it, though, obviously. But it's just the point that the Lord delivered me from it. He got me out of the vehicle, man, and He got the tow truck there. And, man, we pulled that mug uphill. So, hey, call Allah Yahweh Shimi Hawashai. But the reason why He delivered me is because I kept faith. I kept my faith. I was like, I ain't giving up. I believe that you're going to come through. And the Lord came through right that last second. Right when this river was finna take the car, the tow truck, bam, He showed up. He pulled me out of that bad boy. And we made it. So it's little things like that. Even though that was probably pretty mediocre compared to some brothers' testimonies. But nonetheless, it's still a testimony. Okay? So anyway, this is a book, Proverbs 3:26. It says, For the Lord should be thy confidence and shall keep thy foot from being taken. Okay? Confidence. Put confidence in the name of the Lord. Know that He's going to get you out of a situation and that He's going to deliver you. And pray that He do that mighty work through us. All right? Proverbs 14:26. It says, And the fear of Yahweh is strong confidence, and His children shall have a place of refuge. Place of refuge is a safety. Pretty much like being shipwrecked and then end up you getting to Gilligan's Island. That's like refuge. Like when I got delivered out of the ditch, that was a place of refuge, because I put my trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right. But anyway, with that, all praises and glory and honor is due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders, the apostles of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. And with that, Shalom.